Right, let's dive in. Another deep dive today. And this time it's an excerpt from Arundhati Roy's The God of Small Things.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, we're going to look at the scene where Sophie Mol arrives from England at Cochin Airport in India. And we're seeing it through the eyes of the twins, Rahel and Esta.
Right.
Who are experiencing this kind of chaotic homecoming along with us, as the reader.
Yeah, and I think this excerpt is really fascinating because you can see the themes of the novel being set up right from the start.
Yeah.
We're not just watching people get off a plane,
Right.
but we're seeing these cultural clashes, family dynamics, and how these kids just perceive everything.
Yeah, and speaking of perceptions, the scene opens with those me cement kangaroos at the airport.
Right.
And they're just littered with trash. What do you make of that? It seems significant.
It's brilliant. I think those kangaroos represent that gap between the idealized India that foreign returnees might imagine, and then the messy reality. Roy is subtly showing us, I think, how this clash of expectations will play a huge role in the story.
So we're primed right away for this contrast between clean and dirty, both literally and figuratively. And then Sophie Mol enters the picture. And the smell of London is clinging to her.
Yes.
It's almost as if she embodies that foreignness, doesn't it?
Exactly. Roy uses that sensory detail to highlight the cultural divide.
Yeah.
Sophie Mol with her bell-bottoms and her straw hat.
Right.
She is such a contrast to the twins and their world. It's no wonder that Esta seems apprehensive while Rahel is just fascinated by her.
Yeah.
They each react differently to this embodiment of the West.
Right. And then, of course, we have the awkward introduction.
Yes.
Chaco's almost over-the-top enthusiasm clashes with Margaret Kuchama's subtle digs.
Oh, yeah.
And the poor kids are thrust into the role of ambassadors of India.
Ambassadors, right.
Yeah.
And they're not exactly model ambassadors, are they?
No, definitely not.
Esta refusing to say, "How do you do?" It's a perfect example.
Yeah.
I'm struck by how he seems to push back against those forced pleasantries. Is that a sign of rebellion, or is there something deeper going on, do you think?
That is a great question. He's already apprehensive about Sophie Mol.
Right.
Maybe this is his way of resisting the performance their mother expects.
Oh, interesting.
Especially since it comes right before that ominous threat of later hangs over them.
You're picking up on those crucial details. Roy is subtly connecting these small acts of defiance to the power dynamics within the family.
Right.
And it's interesting how Rahel copes with this tension by hiding in the airport curtain, which Ammu describes as dirty.
Right. So she's seeking refuge in the very thing that supposedly makes her unclean in Ammu's eyes. So is Roy hinting at a disconnect between the twins' understanding of clean and dirty and the adults' perceptions?
Absolutely. This scene really highlights those contrasting perceptions. And remember, baby Kochama joins in, judging Ammu for raising her children without a baba.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So not only do the kids have their own ideas about clean and dirty, but those ideas are being judged against societal norms too.
Exactly.
And then Sophie Mol innocently drops a bombshell question.
All right.
She asks if the twins' parents hit them.
Oh, wow.
And Esta denies it.
Okay.
But the question itself is unsettling, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Yeah.
And it raises questions about how these children understand family relationships. What might be seen as loving discipline by one person could be perceived very differently by a child.
Yeah.
Especially in the context of this already tense homecoming.
And this theme of perception continues with Rahel's love list.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how it includes Ammu, Chaco, their grandmother, and even Velutha, who we don't know much about yet.
Right.
I can't help but wonder why he's on the list, especially considering his social status.
That's a key question to keep in mind as you continue reading. What is it about Velutha that draws Rahel to him? Think about their age difference, his position as an untouchable, and what it might reveal about Rahel's character and her understanding of social boundaries.
Okay, so we have these simmering tensions and complex relationships established.
Yeah.
Then Roy throws in Esta, predicting that Sophie Mol will be a dwarf.
Oh, right.
It's a seemingly random detail, but it leads to that hilarious height comparison in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I love how Roy juxtaposes these weighty themes with these moments of childhood humor.
It's a reminder that even amidst family drama and cultural clashes, these are still children trying to make sense of the world.
Right.
Their reactions, both profound and comical, are what make this excerpt so compelling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so We've left the airport, and now we're headed to Ayamenem House.
Right.
It's not just a house, though, is it?
No, definitely not.
It seems like Roy is making it a character in itself.
Absolutely. Ayamenem House isn't just a setting. It's almost like a living memory of the family.
Yep.
The story talks about it witnessing generations of joy and sorrow.
Right.
It feels almost haunted by history, doesn't it?
Definitely. And it's filled with these fascinating characters.
Oh, yeah.
You've got Mamachi, the twins' grandmother, who seems to embody tradition.
Right.
And then there's baby Kochama, their great aunt, who's constantly judging everyone.
Yeah, those two women represent a clash of values.
Right.
Mamachi holds on to the old ways while baby Kocham tries to appear modern, but often comes across as hypocritical.
Yeah.
It's like they're both struggling with how India is changing.
And into this already complex mix comes Velutha,
Yes.
the untouchable man that Rahel included on her love list.
Right.
It feels like his presence is going to cause some serious ripples, especially considering the rigid social rules of Ayamenem.
His inclusion is incredibly significant.
Right.
Remember those clean and dirty ideas we talked about?
Yeah.
Velutha's low social status makes him dirty in the eyes of society.
Right.
But Rahel, in her innocence, doesn't see it that way. This sets the stage for a conflict between individual feelings and societal norms.
It makes me think about how Roy is weaving these larger themes into the story.
Yeah.
We're seeing caste, religion, class, all these things that dictate people's lives in Ayamenem.
Right.
It's not just a family drama, it's a social commentary, too.
Precisely. And then there's Sophie Mol, who represents this other clash.
Right.
India versus the West. She's come from England with all these foreign ways.
Right.
It's as though she's embodying the lingering effects of colonialism on India.
Yeah.
Her arrival disrupts the balance of the house.
It makes you wonder how the family views her.
Right.
Do they see her as sophisticated?
Yeah.
A threat?
Yeah.
Are they trying to impress her, or are they resentful? There's so many layers there.
It's fascinating to consider.
Yeah.
And through it all, we have the twins, Rahel and Esta,
Right.
experiencing these cultural clashes firsthand.
Yeah.
Their childhood innocence allows them to see things that the adults might miss.
There's like little sponges.
Yeah. Yes.
Absorbing everything, trying to understand these complex adult situations.
Right. And Roy doesn't shy away from dropping hints that things are going to get messy.
Oh, definitely. That sense of foreboding is everywhere.
Remember the later hanging over the twins?
Yeah.
The mention of Sophie Mol's deceased father? The orange drink, lemon drink man.
Right?
It feels like Roy is scattering clues about a tragedy waiting to happen.
It makes me want to dig deeper and figure out what's going to break this fragile peace in Ayamenem House. We've talked about the setting and the family dynamics and all those simmering tensions.
Yeah.
But what about the twins themselves?
Yeah.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on Rahel and Esta. What stood out to you about them?
Their vulnerability, I think,
Yeah.
without a doubt, they're caught between all these clashing worlds, the traditional and the modern, the Indian and the Western. And they're trying to navigate it all with just a child's understanding. It makes you worry about what's going to happen to their innocence as the story unfolds.
I feel that too. Roy gives us these glimpses of their inner world.
Yes.
And you can sense the weight of these adult situations. Just pressing down on them.
Right.
The later threat, the pressure to be ambassadors of India.
Right.
Even that innocent question from Sophie Mol about being hit. It all adds up.
And their contrasting personalities make it even more compelling. Rahel's impulsiveness, hiding in that dirty curtain, creating her love list. It speaks to her emotional nature.
Yeah.
And then you have Esta, who internalizes everything, refusing to speak, watching from a distance.
It's like they represent two different ways of coping with this pressure cooker of a situation.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how those coping mechanisms will play out as things get more complicated.
Right.
Especially with those hints of something darker looming on the horizon.
Exactly. The orange drink, lemon drink man that Roy mentions.
Right.
The casual reference to Sophie Mol's deceased father. It creates this unsettling feeling that something terrible is going to happen.
Yeah.
It makes you question everything that seems innocent on the surface.
It's brilliant how Roy does that.
Isn't it?
She lulls you into this world of childhood wonder.
And
then throws in these jarring details that completely shift your perspective.
Right. Yeah.
It makes you want to race ahead and figure out what's going to shatter this fragile peace in Ayamenem.
And that's the power of this excerpt, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
not just about a family reunion at an airport. It's
Right.
about colonialism, social injustice, childhood perceptions. It's about how those things collide and create a world that's both beautiful and heartbreaking.
It's a world that I'm definitely eager to explore further.
Yeah.
And I hope our listeners feel the same way.
Me too.
So as we finish up, I have one last question for you.
Okay.
Roy doesn't explicitly tell us why Velutha is on Rahel's love list.
Right.
As you continue reading The God of Small Things, I want you to keep that question in mind. What do you think draws her to him? And what might that reveal about the world Roy is creating?
It's a fantastic question to ponder. Pay close attention to the power dynamics, the social taboos, and the ways in which Rahel challenges those norms. You might be surprised by what you uncover.
This excerpt is just a taste of the richness and complexity of The God of Small Things.
Absolutely.
I have a feeling that this story is going to stay with us long after we finish reading it.
I think so too.